Hello, I'm James Prosser. This is my Human-Computer Interface Module 7MU007 patch build for the Blocks instrument. Okay, before we get started, we need to download and open the Arduino.maxpat, which is from the Maxwino zip file that you can download. The link is on the instructions on Instructables. So if we open up the Arduino maxpat and open that, okay, so we need to install the Arduino test into our patch. So we don't need the Arduino.maxpat. We can get by just with the Arduino test. It'd be a lot simpler to install it into our patch using this. So first up, we're going to delete what we don't need. So we don't need anything on the left-hand side. So select all that and delete it. Okay, and then select digital ins, we don't need those. Servo configuration, we don't need those either. So get rid of those. Make sure we keep all this at the bottom. We don't need this on the left, we don't need that. So we've got analog pin on and off, analog pin input, and then this serial port up here. So everything else can just be deleted. So the best way to have this is select all, copy, don't save, go into our new patch, and then what we need to do is create a sub patch. So try just putting in patch, it's called patcher, there we go. Paste that in, and there is our Arduino inputs. Okay, so we close that, we don't need that for now, and that can stay there. Okay, so that's the first thing we need to do. Then we need to create a toggle. Okay, and we need to go back into our patcher. Okay, 20 seconds. Okay, we need to go back into our patcher, and we need to create a toggle switch. Now this toggle switch is just for the presentation purposes. This is to enable us to toggle the analog pins on and off. So I'm going to create an inlet, and then I'm going to create 5 delays. Okay, so create one of those. Okay, and then I'm going to start the first delay at 100, second delay as 200, third as 300, you get the idea, fourth as 400, and the fifth one as 500. Now the purpose of this is because if you toggle all of the analog pins on and off at the same time, they don't always work. You do get problems, you do get small bugs, and I'm not quite sure why that is, but to get around it we can just use delay, so it delays the bang. So from the inlet into the right inlet of each delay, oops, and then from each delay, except for the first analog, which is 0, we can attach our delay. Oops. Excuse me. Okay. And then from the inlet go to 0. Okay, and then we can close that. And then from our toggle go into the inlet, and there we go. So as I turn that on, go into the patcher, you'll see that they all illuminate. That's fine. So we can put that in the corner, nice and tucked out of the way. Now, I do apologise in advance, I'm not the cleanest person to write code in Max. I'm still relatively new, so it will be a little bit all over the place. I do apologise for that. Okay, so from the patcher, we need to go back into there and create an outlet for each analog pin. Okay, so if we create an outlet, we need to create 6 of those outlets. Okay, because we've got 6 analog inputs. Oops, does that sometimes. So we've got 6, from the left outlet going into each of those. Like I mentioned before, there are various ways of doing this, doing different methods. You could probably pack the numbers and unpack them, but just for the purpose of this demonstration, we're going to do it like this. So then that will give us 6 outlets on the patcher. Then with these, what we need to do is create a flow num. So I'm just going to copy the ones from inside the patch, create 6 of those, and then go from 1 to 6 through here, as we can see. Very simple, straightforward. So then as we hit our sensors, each one of those will give us the representation of the outputs. Pressing, okay, and then each of those give us a representation of the value of the output. Okay, so now here comes the important part. We need to first create a flow num. So if we go to our numbers, create a flow num, attach that to there. Then we need to create times multiplier, and we're going to put 313 point. That's going to go to there, so it's going to multiply the number by 313. Then that's going to go to a number, and then that is going to go to a slider. Oops, slider. There we go. So attach that to there, and there we go. So that will give us a visual representation of the velocity, the pressure being applied to each of the pads. Okay, so here comes a little bit of a tricky part. We've got a new patcher, a new sub-patch that we need to work out and organise. I'll give you a quick preview of that patcher. There it is, in all its glory. Okay, very much a mess, but it will all begin to make sense in a short while. So let's put that there.